Oi, can't. You're watching the number one non-chilling gaming podcast. You fucking cunts. It's time for Gronking on Dogs. It's me, Mozza. This is how I look now. I'm Mozza. For some reason, my internet just decided to die for a split second. Welcome, everybody, to the hashtag number one non-chilling gaming podcast, you fucking dogs. I don't know how long you guys were sitting here for, but my apologies, everybody. It's been a bit of a wild, a bit of a wacky day, okay? It's just the three of us today, all right? But you know what? It's special because we have Moz with us. And Moz is with us through in sickness and in... I don't know. It's shitting on whores. I don't know.
Moz is sick. Lethal is nursing him via breastfeeding.
Oh, yes. No, because Lethal actually was getting sick. He did a stream over the weekend, and he was starting to get sick. So I think it's the other way around. I think Moz is feeding him his man-teat milk, thus regaining his health. And we all remember that infamous scene from Berserk, where our boy is cold and he needs to be warmed up in the tent. I feel like that's happening as well.
So you're telling us that Maz got some teat tuberculosis?
Oh, most definitely he does. Yeah. He's a freaky fellow. Speaking of freaky fellows, Extra Zero, how are you doing today, you fucking freak?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. I got something cooking in the smoker right now. So after we get off this stream, I'm going to go enjoy a London broil right out of the smoker. And
that sounds like a sex move.
It does, and it is kind of a sex meal as well. But no, I'm doing pretty good.
You basted your cum onto it? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, now you just ruined it. But I mean,
you did when you decided to do that horrific action, and the fact you were going to serve it to the elderly is even more sickening.
Listen. You know, they need protein to stay healthy.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's protein.
It's a sex meal. He treated it like Kim Kardashian and then splooged on its back.
Oh, and then rubbed it in. That was the weirdest part. No gloves either.
It's called a comeback meal. Okay.
Oh no! But, speaking of cum on their backs, Nosmir, how are you doing today?
Oh, doing all right. Probably some people in the chat saw that I had to try and carry Blabs through Tarkov on Friday.
Yeah, I missed that, dude. I wanted to join that so badly, but you guys I was out and about, and I saw the one clip that was pretty wild, Nos.
I killed a PMC that was way high level, and he was very juicy. So I was like, "Thank you, Diddy."
I like how you referred to her as special forces, and
yeah, it was good.
That's good. That's good to hear. The fact that you and Blabs played at the most difficult time to ever pick to play that game. Is
I made a
wild
comment in the chat. I was like, "This is like when Forrest Gump was in Vietnam."
Literally was, yeah.
Oh man. All right. Well, before we get to chat,
how are you doing, Big Creamo?
It doesn't matter how I'm doing. I'm fucking here. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to party, dude. I feel like
I didn't ask.
I feel like what's his face from Jackass, Chris Pontus, when he's in the fucking store in Japan. That's how I feel today. I'm just ready to take the officer cap and start doing the little dance and shit. Yeah, I feel fucking great. But you know what? I feel just that bit better. Just that bit better. If, ladies and gentlemen, if you could get that like button as blue as Cortana's ovaries, that Nosmir wants to go, yes, daddy, too. Oh, no, could you say that line again for us? That's your new catchphrase.
Thank you, daddy. There you go.
The burp was what sealed it. I'm hard. Speaking of which, thank you everybody for coming by. Yes, this is a weird gronking. One without Moz, one without Lethal. It's been a little while since we've had one
it's
of
like
those.
when the Man Show like suddenly shifted from Adam Carolla and Jimmy Kimmel to Doug Stanhope and Joe Rogan.
That's you're a fucking asshole because that sucked. Fuck you, and that includes you. You're not just a fuck you to yourself too. Why do you hate yourself so much to compare yourself to that shit?
I'm just saying, awful. Like when you train, I mean, you're kind of like the Fox in the scenario here. They kept him.
This is fucked. This would be like me saying, yeah, it's like Fear Factor, but when they rebooted it with Ludacris in like 2014 for like 5 minutes, and then they're like, this is bad. We got to get rid of this. Yeah, no, it is going to be basically the exact same show. No difference. Speaking of which, chat, it's time to get the chat. All right, chat's here. All right. We got a fucking triumvirate of fucking shit for Mazza to eat. And because Maz isn't here, he will legitimately have to eat the poo. We're going to force it into his mouth. It's human shit. Not for many of us. We've outsourced that to India, just like a lot of things. So he's going to eat it.
He's going to have his Ethan Ralph moment is what he's going to have.
He's going to be having phone sex with Gronk.
Well, that too. That's probably what he's doing. He's probably like eating a Tootsie Roll right now. But it's not a Tootsie Roll.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think he is. Oh, man. All right, who we got in chat here? We got Cell Shade in chat. We got a $5 super chat from the Last Toxic Male. Oi, Nos, could you maybe read the super chat out for us, big fella?
Oi, Lethal. My dick needs to be sucked. I've been building all this super cum for you, mate. Come get a taste of what Moz's mum has been slurping. For real, for real. I like how he's in his black suit Spider-Man arc as well here.
Yeah.
And we lost Kareem. Look at that,
Did
man.
we? I don't know. I kind of like that freeze frame there. Now he's having a Sleepy Joe moment.
Yeah. What are we doing?
Yeah, he's in his black arc. And Mazza's in his blacked arc.
Here we go. We're back on track, boys.
Black on track.
I don't know what the fuck is happening. I'm not gonna lie. My internet is fucking dying a slow death. This is like grandma. I'm running on grandma's pacemaker internet. When fucked.
Your background is an Australian man lit with wood paneling filleting a ghost. You won't really need to say like what's happening.
What is happening? Oh my god, what is happening? Oh, you know what? You know what is happening? We're reading through chat. That's what's happening. P-Dub is here. Gravy D is here. Obviously, Last Toxic Male is still here. That's right, with the $2 super chat, ladies and gentlemen. He says, I provide protein to Mazza's mom. It's called my cum. See, that's a rhyme, dude. That's like some Eminem shit right there. Yeah, you should go on tour with, like, I don't know, the fucking Redman or some shit.
I do one like Mazza's mom's spaghetti, got her hot and ready.
I'm just saying that last toxic male line there would have absolutely destroyed the free world if fucking Marshall Matters pulled it out, you know?
It would. Everyone would like die if they heard that.
He should have played that Jackbox game with us.
Yeah,
the rap battle one.
Yeah, he would have won. He would have won. But Sit Me won. Sit Me was fucking people up, dude.
I know.
Wild.
This is a tough competition.
We got Mazza Salamanca with the $5 redo. chat. It says, our boy Mazza got taken by the deep state again. Only one man on this panel can save his hole before they make him pay that troll toll. Or he drank bathwater. I improvised there. I added a little finesse to the super chat. I feel like it was needed.
I think he's drinking a lot of Pierce's bathwater. Is what he's done.
Oh, maybe. It's the Richard Karn Family Feud era of... Oh, no.
No, I think it's more the Louis Anderson one.
That's better. Louis Anderson at least had talent.
He did. Jeez. And then they're like... He's like, I have to drop from the show because they found my gay sex tape.
G4 reboot, Gronkin. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's do it. This time we'll pay Olivia Munn money so she'll show up.
No, it's like when the completionist slides into the panel and Lethal just deletes the channel.
Yep.
Oh, fucking hell. That's fucking cursed. Hey, speaking of cursed, guys, we have our first story of the day, and it is technically this is a little bit of autism to start our day here.
Isn't that every show?
Yeah, basically. We have this story from Wario64. It says, Untitled Donkey Kong Project, motion picture. U.S. copyright registered by Universal Pictures.
Yeah.
This is one time where I'm not hot for Donkey Kong.
I'm not hot. You don't want to watch Untitled Donkey Kong Project.
Guess who I am? They stole my bananas. I'm going to get high.
Voiced by Jack Black. Let's go.
No,
Let's fucking go.
Naz, it's worse. I wish it was Jack Black. I wish it was Jack Black.
No one has ever said that before in their life.
I'm saying it now. I wish it was Jack Black as Donkey Kong.
Holy shit. Just what a great... By the way, they have a fucking typo on the fucking copyright registry. Look at it. There's no space in between the colon and the... What is this? What is going on here? That is disgusting.
We are not hot for Donkey Kong.
I can't fucking spell it. Even I know that's fucked looking. But again, why would you register it as Untitled Donkey Kong Project motion picture? Like, shouldn't you come up with a fucking name for it? Like, oh, I don't know, Donkey Kong the movie?
Yeah, how do you copyright that?
Yeah, this is fucking insane, right? Like,
yeah. What if someone else? What if someone else? What if
that is the title though? It just comes out like Untitled Goose Game. Untitled Donkey Kong motion picture. Can't wait to see it.
I'd pay for tickets in 3D IMAX, bro.
That might as well grow the pedo beard back. Well, the pedo beard. I'm not gonna dignify it as a beard, but he's not actually gonna shave it. He's like, I don't care. I've seen the Donkey Kong movie like this.
I think that's the move we play now on Gronkin, is we find out the leak for the planned movie name and we copyright that name.
Like we always did forever.
And then Universal has to pay us money. And then we copy Minions 2. You got to give us the Minions IP for this Universal.
We use the money to fund Scam.
The fun Scam, yeah. And we license Minions into Scam, and it just becomes the worst thing you've ever seen.
Gronkin just ratting its way to the top through all the slimy means. Let's do it.
Yes, we gotta do it. What do you think, Extra, about Untitled Donkey Kong Project?
At least. But now Seth Rogen was like, I like the Mario movie, and Seth Rogen was the worst part. I mean, he wasn't offensive. I love Donkey Kong. I love
You're hot for Donkey Kong
game. I'm hot for Donkey Kong Bonanza. I can't wait to get that this week. I'm really excited for that game. I've played the demo. They actually had a demo up in Target, and I got to play it, and it's good. I can't wait to really play that game. But I can't do anything with Seth Rogen. He's just fucking annoying. I hate his voice. I hate the fact that he didn't even try. Like, for all the issues I have with Jack Black, I mean, he's mostly inoffensive, and he did a really good job as Bowser in the Mario movie, whereas they're just like, yeah, just be Seth Rogen, and that's not Donkey Kong. And so they really fucked up with the casting, and they're really fucking up giving him a whole movie unless they just recast him with somebody else. But I doubt that's going to happen. I think this is just going to be a vehicle for him, and it's unfortunate.
I can't wait for Donkey Kong to say weed.
They probably will have a joke in there like that. They'll be like, where was your banana horde? Over there by the weed. Smoking
that banana kush.
Yeah.
Hey, Cranky, take a hit of this.
Yeah.
Cranky turns out to be fucking James Franco.
Oh, God.
Diddy Kong is now Danny McBride. I could turn this into such a bad film that people would watch it.
Diddy Kong will just be Sean Diddy Combs. He'll be out in time for it.
P. Diddy Kong.
Yeah.
P. Diddy Kong. Let's go. We can make it happen. He's off. He didn't do anything wrong in my eyes. I know the law says he might have done a little bit wrong, but he got off one of the charges. That's basically innocence for all of them in my eyes, at least. And so yeah, shout out to P. Diddy. P. Dizzle.
Trump came out. There's no one cares about the Diddy list. There's girls dying in Texas.
Nobody fucking cares about it at all. Honestly, it's kind of beneath you to be talking about my boy P. Dizzle like this. We're great friends.
Don't come to me with
I honestly let Baron hang out with P. Diddy a lot.
You can unfollow me, but I'll still be listening to. I'll be missing you. He didn't kill Biggie.
Don't come.
No big deal.
Don't come to me with these lists. The Donkey Kong movie's coming out. Let's focus on that.
Remember when he rapped over Kashmir in that Godzilla movie that nobody remembers?
I remember that Godzilla movie, and I remember the soundtrack. The soundtrack, minus that song, was fucking good. We got No Shelter by Rage. That's one of their best songs. I don't know why they were shitting on the U.S. government. I don't know what that has to do with Big Lizard Attack, but whatever. All right, let's move on to our next story here, ladies and gentlemen. That is about Battlefield 6. Yes. So there has been data mining going on with the game, and something about an open beta for Battlefield 6. Of course, we were going to get an open beta for this game, like everyone knew. Obviously, with all the closed testing, I think it was like kind of just a given that we were going to get an open beta, but people have found this now in the code. So let's go through, let's read, let's see what it says. Maybe we can discern some more info by actually, reading the information, unlike other places that will just fucking not do that. Not going to name names. Let us read through this right here, ladies and gentlemen. Something major is brewing up for Battlefield 6 as mentions of an open beta have been discovered in a new data mine. As we approach the game's reveal event this summer, leaks and data mines regarding Battlefield 6 are becoming increasingly frequent. Players have already gained insights into various aspects of the game, including its free-to-play mode, the campaign, and much more. It appears that the community may soon have the opportunity to test these features out for themselves through an open beta for Battlefield 6. Battlefield 6 open beta mentioned in new client update. Ooh.
Just one thing too, I don't think anybody been talking about it having a free-to-play mode, and that was something that I thought was an okay idea with Halo Infinite. But I'm curious if this means that they're going to make the whole multiplayer suite free-to-play, or they're just going to make part of it kind of like a demo that's kind of like everlasting, or maybe it's going to be like Warzone, like their equivalent
or an extraction shooter.
Yeah,
potentially.
Because I think the free-to-play element of Halo Infinite was one of the biggest reasons why the multiplayer never took off, because it was so obsessed with showing you the cosmetics, and a lot of those cosmetics fell out of rotation and they were overpriced. I don't think it's a cause for alarm, but I'm curious what it is. And I think that might be a little bit of a red flag, even though we've been seeing a lot of things that look promising in this.
The mention of a free-to-play aspect of the game, if it was like a Warzone or a extraction shooter, that brings up red flags for me, because that means monetization. And how do you do that? This, what are they called? Not season passes, the battle passes.
Battle passes.
Could we see the DICE go through the battle passes and then start being like, oh, here's this new OP gun that you got to buy the battle pass for. Here's Cheech and Chong in Battlefield 6. That's where it always fucking goes. Every time with a battle pass, we go down to Cheech and Chong and Godzilla and Homelander, and
now we have Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, Beavis and Butthead, and that ruins these modern military shooters.
Yeah,
because it's just totally against the aesthetic and the theme that they want to go with. I don't like it.
Yeah, not only that, but it just adds like this silliness to it that you can't even take it serious. Like it just.
But reading on, it says, according to a report by MPIST, what a name. Information regarding the Battlefield 6 open beta has emerged from the One Battlefield Telegram group, which is known for its data mines related to Battlefield Labs. The group discovered the phrase Battlefield 6 open beta was added in the last client update for Battlefield Labs. While no further details were provided, players are speculating that a major open beta test may be in development. Well, yeah, especially if that open beta phrase is in there. However, it's important to note this information comes from a data mine and not an official source, so it should be treated with caution. Before we move on, I mean, we're all expecting an open beta, right? Extra chat, we're all expecting it. But from what we've seen with Labs, with the leaked footage that came out, is it ready yet, or could this be in the next year or two?
Well, I think we've also talked about this a few times, where we know this is like one of EA's last shots and DICE's last shots to save the franchise. So I think that they're being very cautious. They're looking for a lot of feedback. We know that the closed beta, that we had a lot of positive buzz, and they were trying to be really receptive and course correct the franchise. So it's curious. And again, there's probably a lot that's changed since this game went from inception to development. And we don't have a frame of reference for how old or how far along the game was when that data, when they were able to data mine what was there. What build is that from? Is that something that they worked out? I mean, again, I bring up Halo Infinite for good reason. That game came and went and failed to make any sort of splash in the marketplace, and it's Microsoft's flagship franchise for shooters. So
I don't know what you're talking about there. Halo Infinite is the most popular game around. Somebody told me that once, I think. Maybe.
Were they high on?
No, it was Seth Rogen, and he was saying he was going to be Donkey Kong in a new film called Untitled Donkey Kong Movie.
All right.
I believed him too. I've invested all my money in Universal Pictures. Yeah, so have we read through this section here? Sorry, everyone.
We are at... I'll read the second paragraph where we're at.
Yep. Yeah, sure.
An open beta for Battlefield 6 is an excellent strategy to generate hype for the upcoming game. True. Players will have the chance to experience all the new features, explore the new maps, and test the latest weapons and vehicles. Additionally, they can provide feedback to the developers on areas that need improvement before the full release. Furthermore, the mention of this open beta suggests that an official reveal might be around the corner. However, we should wait for an official announcement to know for sure. So it's that question of like, with the alpha footage we saw from Battlefield Labs, there was a lot of like texture glitches. It was very limited in development at what point it was. So what point was that footage taken? Was it more recent? Because if so, then we already agreed, Cream, and I guess you would as well. An open beta is obvious going to happen.
Yeah.
But just because they've added the phrase open beta doesn't mean we're going to see it in like August, Could be August 2027 or 2026 rather.
Well, yeah, I mean, the game's supposed to be out early next year, so I think we're probably going to get it by the end of the summer.
End of the summer?
End of summer. Yeah, something like mid-September, maybe. That way it gives people enough time to play the game, give their feedback. It gives them time to implement stuff into their feedback. If there's issues, gives them time to try to fix that. Maybe we even get multiple betas. So if there is something like that, we could see one midsummer, some like mid-August, and then something like, I don't know, late October for another beta, just so they can gather more information. Because I think with this game, there's been a lot of, we need to figure out what we were fucking to implement it. Now, it does look like they're making some other fuck ups, like the high fucking budget, the fact it's going to need, and it even says here, like, EA leadership wants Battlefield 6 to hit 100 million players. That's a lot of fucking people for a game.
Yeah,
like, that is, I think it's unreasonable. Maybe not if Battlefield was like popping off, but it's not. It's a very cold franchise at this point. So I do think that they really do have to refocus on what the hell they're doing with this franchise. And if they are able to mitigate as many of these like tech problems as possible from the get-go and come out cleaner and more polished than your average AAA, which is not a hard bar to pass at this point, I think people will start glazing it just because of that alone. And then if you have actual good gameplay underneath, people will stay and you're able to build momentum. Especially because, like, to be honest, I don't have much hope for the next Call of Duty game. I don't think anyone does. You look at how badly they fucked up Black Ops 6. Yeah, it launched okay, and then it just went down. So best case scenario in my eyes, we're going to get the same thing where it launches fine, and then like months in, everyone's like, this fucking sucks now. So if you can just keep people, and you basically just have to outwait Activision to fuck up, because they will fuck up. They've done it for years now. When was the last time they put out actually a decent COD? Modern Warfare 2019 remastered?
Yeah.
Yeah, though arguably some people will say Modern Warfare 2 is decent.
Yeah. I disagree, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying some people.
Yeah. Those ones are called retarded people.
I will say this news escaped me. I don't know how it went under my radar, but this article said that there's going to be a campaign, and it's going to be the first campaign I think we've gotten since Battlefield 1.
Battlefield 5.
Yeah, 5 had one.
5 had one. Okay.
Yeah. And so there's been some leaks about the do you want to know what the leaks are about the campaign, Nos?
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right, hold on. We're putting on the spoilers thing. If you don't want to hear the very flimsy and like non-consequential spoilers for the game, put them on. Okay. Basically one of the maps is going to be Gibraltar, and you're going to have to, like, as NATO, take back Gibraltar from like the enemy faction. So that's basically the leaks we got about it, because there's a map called The Rock and stuff. So yeah, we're so I don't know what you think about that. I know you don't like that area because Spaniards, but I think you'd be willing to play a map about it, right?
Well, we own it, so it's all good. I'm happy to go over there on holiday virtually.
Should have taken a little bit more land though, right?
Yeah.
Like a little bit.
Yeah,
maybe the whole thing.
The whole thing. Mainland Europe.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. What? You can't have British Italy?
Really?
British. Yeah, there we go. Would have been better. Imagine the food. That tasty British food, but in Italy.
Beans on toast.
Diarrhea.
But in Italy.
Beans on toast in Rome, baby.
Yeah.
All right. Do we want to move on to, or is there any last thoughts on Battlefield 6 at all from you fellas?
The last thing was I've been banging on about it for a while, is like the class system and, you know, the synergy of the classes with all that bullshit. And there was an Twitter, not X. Why am I falling into that trap? There was a Twitter post by the Battlefield Labs people going over the class system, and one of the main OG game writers or coordinators, David Goldfarb, was like, I don't know. It's a big fucking post. I don't think we got time over it. So, but
yeah, if I just scroll through, boom, 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 boom.
yeah,
This is the post you're talking about. I'm still scrolling.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're in comments, but it's a very, very large post, very in depth. It might be worth going over in a separate type thing, maybe even a pod episode. Maybe,
Yes,
maybe might be worth it. It is interesting to see, and that's a part 2, by the way. There's a part 1 out there somewhere. That's part 2. so there's a lot to go over with this fucking game.
It's some final comments there is like, it's interesting they're now like acknowledging the class system again and recognizing how great that system is for Battlefield, but I'm worried that one of the OG creators in the team for DICE was like, I don't know, so we'll have to review it at a later date.
Yep, that is true. We'll have to go through and then we can compare it to what it was like. What the fuck is in Battlefield 2042? What a fucking terrible game that game is. You know what? Let's move from a terrible game to a franchise that I don't think has really put out a bad game. Only 2 in the franchise, but number 3 was supposed to be coming up. Funny enough, titled 2. Subnautica 2 Saga turns messy. Former dev sue Crafton as publisher accuses them of betrayal.
Yep. I watched you guys go over this and you predicted it. Yeah, they were gonna. It was a case of the 250 million or however much in bonuses for being on date. And then the publisher was like, nah, we're going to delay it anyway. We'll probably review this in the article, but it's just interesting to me that you guys were like, I think it's because of this. And we could see the devs sue, and they are.
Yep. Yeah, this is going to be very, very interesting. Let's get right into it here. Subnautica 2's development changes have taken another drastic twist as former developers claim they are launching legal action against publisher Crafton, which has now accused them of abandoning the project. Which is weird because weren't they fired?
Oh, I don't know.
They were.
That's what the article said.
They were fired. They were kicked out.
Yeah.
So that's a bit weird. Last week, Crafton shared the surprising news that Unknown Worlds leadership had left the company, including CEO Ted Gill, co-founder and creative director Charlie Cleveland, and co-founder and technical director Max McGuire. No reason was given for the departures, nor statements from the departing leadership, but Crafton claimed that Unknown Worlds trio had left despite its efforts to keep them involved in the game's development. Steve Papatopoulos, or whatever the fuck his name is, previously the CEO of Striking Distance, would take over as Unknown Worlds CEO, it said. It was later confirmed that Crafton was delaying the release of Subnautica 2, which is the second most wishlisted game, or upcoming game, on Steam to 2026, so for 2026 then. A Bloomberg report alleged that Crafton had made the decision months before it was due to pay a $250 million bonus to the development team, which leadership had planned to share with the studio's employees of around 100 people. The sequel's delay was against the wishes of the studio's former leadership, it's claimed, and by delaying the game into next year, the company is now unlikely to hit the targets, which would trigger the payout. Responding to Bloomberg's report, Crafton issued another statement on Thursday claiming that the delay was not influenced by any contractual or financial considerations, but instead to improve the game, contradicting a social media post by Subnautica 2's former director, claiming that it was ready for early access. Furthermore, Crafton's new statement accused the former leadership team of abandoning their responsibilities in order to work on other projects, including a film, which it said led to delays for the game, and claimed that 90% of the $250 million payout was allocated to the 3 execs. This is becoming a lot of he said, she said stuff, but we'll read their quote here and we'll read through this because this is getting fucking wild here. The story. Crafton believes that the absence of core leadership has resulted in repeated confusion in direction and significant delays in the overall project schedule. It said the early access version also falls short in terms of content volume. We are deeply disappointed by the former leadership's conduct, and above all, we feel a profound sense of betrayal by their failure to honor the trust placed in them by our fans. Okay, so then we have a response on Friday about a lawsuit being filed, suing a multi-billion-dollar company in a painful, public, and possibly protracted way was certainly not on my bucket list. This is Red. This is the creative director who used to be at Unknown Worlds and now is suing. But this needs to be made right. Subnautica has been my life's work, and I would never willingly abandon it or the amazing team that has poured their hearts into it. In one final twist, a selection of confidential slideshows showing Subnautica 2's development progress leaked online, suggesting that the content has been downsized due to missed deadlines. In an unprecedented move, Crafton published a press release soon after the leak confirming that the documents are indeed real. Given these circumstances, Crafton has determined that the transparent communication is necessary, and has chosen to confirm the authenticity of the projects, it said. Crafton believes that minimizing speculation and ensuring accurate communications with players must take precedence. This is fucking wild. Do we want to see those slides, ladies and gentlemen? Because they're on fucking Reddit. So
yeah, let's do it.
Let's go. We're going to delve into the worlds of Reddit here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look at some of this. Okay, now it's redirecting me to another Reddit tab. I fucking hate Reddit. Okay, so let's read some of this shit right here. I'm zooming in, but it's getting further away. What is going on?
Yeah, that happens sometimes where if you zoom in, it makes the image smaller. But did any of this, and I missed when you guys covered it initially, did you guys talk about the fact that this game might actually be a live service game in disguise?
No, we did not discuss that. I have not seen actually anything about that. That's wild. I mean, this looks like content volume increase as is 30%. Like, this is, I mean, it does look like they're not hitting their targets, right? They're like, hey, we need you to be here. You're at here. Apparently they should have already had, at the point of this slide, May 2025, had the second region completed. They haven't even finished the first region, right? They need 8 creatures and 2 leviathans done in the second batch of working on them, and they've only done the first bit of that. 5 biomods, mining and automation, farming system, none of that's done apparently. Approximately 16 hours of core gameplay is not there, and then chapter 1, 2, and chapter 2 and 3 were supposed to be done of a 10 chapter game, and they're only on chapter 1. So Crafton is saying this is real. It looks pretty legit to me. I mean, this is pretty much what you would see from a leak. It's like, yeah, they're way off their targets.
Yeah,
that's not a little bit off. That's a lot off. That's like months off.
That is crazy, because this might be a case of like the little guy is in the wrong as much as you want to support them. Them saying, no, it is early access ready. I mean, technically any game is early access ready because it's not the final product, but it's like, this is one chapter of a 10 chapter game is all you've got done. By the time, I think Crafton may have been right in saying, no, this is not acceptable to release.
Oh, we got another one here. Look at this one. It says the game's content volume has been scaled down compared to the initial EA spec target, making it necessary to reassess the feasibility of the planned launch. So they're like now having to be like, okay, can't hit that, you can't hit that, you can't hit that. 6 hours of content cut.
Wow.
There's one. Custom game mode removed. The number of tools, equipment decreased, and the additional vehicles, Trident, excluded. One type of Leviathan removed, fewer creatures / biomods, and character customization features excluded. This is not
good.
No, this is really bad.
Especially since you would expect that they would have just been building off of what they had in the first game. They would have said, okay, hey, we're going to take all the content from the first game, build upon that, include new features, expand upon it. I'd be curious if this comes out in a state. And when I say curious, I just basically say I'm looking for confirmation, because it seems like this is going to be yet another game that comes out with less than what the original has to offer.
Yeah. And not only that, like a significant amount of what they were supposed to be working on isn't there. Blab says zoom in so chat can read. I tried. It's not
Reddit.
working. Yeah, it's not working too well for this.
Unless you were to right click and do open image in a new tab,
Open
maybe
image.
you can do it that way.
I can probably do that way. Let's see if I can.
It was in reference to the articles. So
No, it does the same. It does the same thing. Sadly.
Okay.
My apologies, everyone, with that. But yeah, this is not good. It's really not looking good for the devs, honestly, at that point, like talking about like, oh, it's early access ready. No, it does not look early access ready. Yeah, you can sell anything at early access. I could put a picture of my fucking spread ass cheeks with a little bit of dribbling out and be like, this is my game, and then put it up there for early access. It doesn't mean it's what
acceptable
wants. Yeah, and Craft is saying that's not acceptable. You have to do more. You have to have like a good portion of the game done.
Well,
so worth playing.
Not to mention, I think the first Subnautica really was a game that thrived on word of mouth, and now with all the calls for the fan backlash and the calls for boycotts, they really are putting themselves in a tumultuous place. I mean, they're killing any momentum this game had. What went on with those bonuses it should not have happened with the game being in the state that it's in. Period.
Yep.
Yeah.
I want to preface this. We should preface this by saying Crafton has, confirmed that they're real, but these are all leaks. It is all speculative, but we're just going off the information we have. Maybe in the future, when the court documents are released, it could be a totally different story. And
will be stuff through Discovery.
Yeah, and Outer Worlds was in the right, or Crafton was in the right. But going off what we have right now, I think Crafton may be in the right here. This looks like kind of like a Perfect Dark scenario, where Perfect Dark was cancelled. Not one for one, but Perfect Dark was cancelled. Everyone was upset with Microsoft, but then it's revealed that the developers were like just fucking around. They were making like early builds, canceling early builds again.
Can we ring up a dub for John Graham, who called this exactly happening? Because he's like, we were all like, well, they probably were trying to avoid that $250,000, $250 million buyout. And he's like, well, what if they were just trying to get that buyout? And it's like, that's equally as plausible. And that's what it's looking like. It looks like they really did a rush job to get it out because they knew that Subnautica 2 was going to do well, right? I would probably buy that. Maybe not day one, but I would buy it early on. But not when there's no content for it. And that's what Crafton realized. They're like, hey, you have to bring enough to the table for people to be willing to play, right? People will buy a game in early access. Look at oh my God, Path of Exile 2.
Pow World.
But guess what? Pow World, Path of Exile 2 literally gave you way more content than what they're offering.
Schedule 1.
Schedule 1, and Schedule 1's constantly updating with Subnautica. This game is looking pretty rough.
Yeah. I almost feel like we should do a pod about like sequels where they big sequels that came out with less content than the original, because I think that's another
There's a fair bit.
huge issue in the industry that not too many people really talk about.
Yeah, there's a fair bit. One I think of right away is a game that's actually been getting a lot of like praise lately, Victoria 3.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that removed all type of military conflict that's player controlled from the game. Like that's a huge fucking thing to be removed. It removed World Market, which they added back through DLC, stuff like that. This happens really like often. So if this shit is true, if we are assuming that this is all that's there, which probably isn't, but let's just assume everything we've seen is it. And this is where it lies at this moment of recording. Krafton's in the right. Now, something crazy could come out, and something crazy probably will come out. But at this moment that we are recording this, with all the information we have, Krafton's in the right. And I totally agree with them that that's not enough content for an early access game, especially from a company that's becoming a major publisher like Krafton, who's really been trying to focus in on putting out quality games. Yeah, they have PUBG, which is kind of fucking slop, but they've been buying up studios like Tango Gameworks and Unknown Worlds, and they're trying to put out quality, and it just isn't living up. Yeah, exactly. They're trying to become a major player in the industry.
Yeah.
And you can't put out slop like that. You can if you're like Bethesda, but even with Bethesda, you look at it, the amount of love that Bethesda has gone down drastically.
And I can't remember if I made the analogy with you or not, but the whole thing about like people just, again, like I think it's a leadership problem with these companies. But like one of the issues that I see with like a lot of the Microsoft led studios is it's kind of like that substitute teacher effect, right? Like you could have a class full of good students, but you get that one substitute teacher in that you can fucking derail for,
everyone will.
Everyone will. And you need to have strong leadership to get strong games. And I mean, that's just how it's always been and how it's always going to be. And I think that, I do think I agree. I think Krafton was in the right, and I'd be curious in a post-mortem to see like what kind of leadership they had. I'm sure with Perfect Dark, they probably had like lax leadership, and it was like why they weren't getting anything done. They're like, oh yeah, fuck the legacy of this game. We're just going to make an arcane style game and call it a day. But that's not what anybody wanted.
Yeah, that is true. Any last thoughts on Subnautica 2 before we move on? We got I can't believe we've got like some even bigger news than that. But
let's get to it.
Yeah. Before we get to that, and this is the bigger news, where's my checkered shirt? On a fucking clothing hanger. It's just hanging up in my closet. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry.
What's weird?
I chose this shirt today.
Is like they'll ask questions like when you change stuff, but like like Mazza just kind of has the uniform. Either he's wearing the lesbian jacket, the white tit dirt shirt, or
his
he's
shoes.
got like fucking like Lethal. He's always got like the Hawaiian shirts on, like or a hoodie depending on the time of the year. Your looks change like every 3 weeks.
Yeah,
and then
I'm built different, dude. I got that style. I got that Riz, dude.
Well, the thing is,
hang it with me, dude. He can't hang with me.
Autistic people hate change, and that's why it bothers the chat so much.
So I'm pissing off the autistics.
You're pissing off the autistics just by merit of being built different.
I fucking love that. Hey, you know what else I love? Because look, this does kind of tie into Stop Killing Games. There is actually some Stop Killing Games news that I saw a little bit ago. I don't have it in the doc, but basically one of the vice presidents of the European Parliament signed the Stop Killing Games initiative. So there is going to be some movement on that when it hits Parliament. EU Parliament. How much movement? You don't know, because there's different people from different regions and different parties. It's a fucking mess. Like, imagine all the shit from like Star Wars, the fucking prequels where they're all the political stuff. Now imagine the aliens are just Polish, and that's basically the EU. That's basically the EU. But this game has decided to I don't think it has necessarily anything to do with Stop Killing Games, but it is a solution that is offered for always online games. That's right. We're going to be talking about Sea of Thieves because paid custom servers are coming to Sea of Thieves next year. That's right.
How long have I been talking about this?
Exactly. Look at Battlefield. We were talking about Battlefield earlier in the show. They still
Battlefront.
Battlefront, yeah. I mean, Battlefield still has that old school where it's just a list of all the servers, a server browser list. If Battlefield is still doing that in like 2020, there's, I think, very few excuses from just an outside perspective that doesn't know much about coding, doesn't know a bunch about netcode. I look at that as a consumer and as a fan, and I see Battlefield still doing that shit, and then everyone else is like, we can't possibly make it work.
I could tell you easily and definitively why it went away to begin with.
Yeah.
Because there was that time, that whole 6th generation of consoles when, what was it, the 7th? I can't remember, but like during the 360 and the PS3 era, and then heavily into Xbox One and PS4 when consoles were still king. And they just definitively held the marketplace. You had to pay to play online. So it was just easier for them to just say, okay, hey, to appease Microsoft and Sony, we're going to make it so that, you can't have custom servers anymore because they want their customer base to pay for, their online services. So we have no need to have this functionality. And what's crazy is in the PS2 and the original Xbox days, that functionality was there. I used to play Battlefront 2 all the time with this guy. Well, Battlefront 1 and 2, this dude G Smooth had his own custom servers all the time. And it was amazing. But I think we're kind of finally starting to see that stranglehold, especially with Microsoft and Sony abandoning the whole reason you have the memberships now. Like they changed theirs to Games Pass, the core Games Pass, and then Sony's kind of given up because of the lawsuits where Warzone and Fortnite and all the big free to play games that the younger player base really engages with don't have the online subscription requirement. So they're kind of shifting away from that. And then we're starting to see, a growth of the PC base. So I think this is incredibly smart because one, not only from a games preservation perspective, but also because the market is shifting away from this subscription-based peer-to-peer multiplayer model that was senseless and never really worked the ways it should have.
Yeah, no, true. And I mean, for Sony, remember, like I had a PS3 as a kid. That was my console of that generation.
Yeah.
I never paid once for PlayStation Plus during that entire time.
There's no infrastructure in peer-to-peer, and they enticed people with, if you pay for PlayStation Plus or you pay for Xbox Live Gold, that goes into the infrastructure. That goes in, but they never did. I mean, you would rarely see.
With the PlayStation 3, the online stuff, PSN was free.
Fine. Yeah.
PSN was free and you could use it and it worked fine. It worked on, I mean, not when the Lizard Squad or the North Koreans hacked, but it only happened every Christmas. Besides then, it was working perfectly, which it still happens every fucking Christmas. So, but with with PlayStation Plus, it was really just like, hey, you get like discounts on games and like here's some free games you get every month, right? And that was cool. It's kind of like honestly what Humble Choice is, but just for the PlayStation and a fewer amount of games. But then you go into the PS4 and then they're like, oh yeah, sorry, you got to have PlayStation Plus to get on the internet. There was a lot of people pissed off, but also a lot of people came over from the Xbox 360 and it was already, they were already doing that. So I
vividly remember how they got away with it.
Yeah.
Because they included it in a footnote, little thing at the bottom, because everybody was so pissed off with Don Matrick running his mouth. And then the whole concept of, you're not going to be able to share your games with your friends anymore.
If you don't have stable internet connection, we have a console for you. It's called the Xbox 360 and shit like that. Yeah.
Sony, like, if Microsoft hadn't fucked up so bad, Sony would have really looked like the bad guy because people were so fed up with the decisions that they had made, at that time, that they didn't care about the whole, oh, you need PlayStation Plus to play online. They were just like, well, at least I can share my games. At least I can buy used games. And they got away with it. So, both companies were fucking consumers over, and one company just giving customers a shred of the illusion of being pro-consumer got away with the stupid multiplayer requirements through a subscription because the other company fucked up so bad.
Yeah. Nas, any thoughts on Sea of Thieves paid custom servers? I know you're a big Sea of Thieves fan.
I cannot wait for Sea of Thieves Operation Footlocker 24/7. Machine guns only, no explosives, 3,500 tickets. Let's go.
Iraq War RP.
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves.
I'm curious what the service will cost, because it's probably Azure based, and that can be expensive, but it's all done through automation. So I'm curious what
there's also server hosting websites, right?
Yeah.
Like if you want a Minecraft server, you can do Realms with the newer one, or you can go through like another third party that will have it and do it cheap and stuff like that. Pal World had that day one.
Yeah.
And Sea of Thieves is a big enough game where I do see this being like pretty big in the sense of for the community, and it may pull a couple people back in, but it keeps people in that community there, because it's like, oh, now I can go to this server. And again, if Microsoft is like, hey, it's time for us to kind of wind this down, and they leave those servers up, that means you can still play the game, which is all that people want out of a game. I buy the game. I want to play the game when I want. I don't want to be told, yeah, you can buy the game and you give us a shit ton of money. I'm looking at it, and like AAA games, a lot of them are going for 900, or sorry, not holy shit. And maybe if you're in like Djibouti, but here in Canada, it's $99.99 or $93.48 or some shit. It depends. Some games are priced higher than others.
They're built
all
different.
in that. Yeah, exactly. There's like a $7 difference where they're like, yeah, we gotta add that. But it is becoming a problem, because there's a lot of people where it's like, that's like if you're minimum wage, let's say, that's a day's worth of wages. That's an entire day's worth of work if you're on minimum wage, right? That makes it totally unaffordable, because like nobody is going to be, what, are you going to fucking pay your phone bill, or are you going to buy a new game? Or like, so a lot of people who are on the lower end of the economic spectrum are now going to have to save up for games, which means, or buy them on sale, right? Mm-hmm. Which means the game's not going on sale unless near release, right? The only time is if the game fucking sucks. Mm-hmm. So that's going to become a problem. So I think honestly, this is a good move. What does this have to do with game sales? Not much, but it does show that your game's not just going to all of a sudden become valueless. The amount of money that you're putting in, which is now more than ever, with a game like this, you can still fucking use it, hopefully. Again, they'll find it's Microsoft. They'll find a way to fuck everyone over anyways, but any last thoughts on Sea of Thieves getting custom servers?
I would like some elaboration too in their end, whether you can just, I'm not too familiar with the state of Sea of Thieves, whether or not you can just, use your own, like do your own hosting off of your own rig, if they'll allow that. But again, I do think it sets a good precedent for making sure that the game, as you mentioned, is playable past however long they choose to support it.
So this is all the information we have. This feature, it's going to come out in early 2026, and it says this feature will also give players access to exclusive tools such as cinematic camera used to make trailers for the game. Specific pricing information wasn't shared, but Rare did concede that the feature is an expensive one to support, thus will require a monthly fee. So you're going through Rare. You're basically paying Microsoft for them to set up a custom server for you. Why the fuck wouldn't you just do it the way that every other game has done it before 2000 and like what, 8?
Right. And that was kind of like what I was getting at, where they want to use this as a money-making apparatus. But again, it goes into how much does it cost, and they probably want to normalize customers paying into the Azure ecosystem, because it's very expensive, and right now it's really an enterprise-focused business model. So,
well, I guess if Sony's paying into it, why don't we?
Right.
I believe Sony's PSN is still run off those servers.
I
don't think they've changed. Yeah, because during the PS4 era they were.
Unless they switched over to AWS, I honestly I don't know off the top of my head.
Maybe, but you know what? We will have to move on to our next topic, which is Nosmir's favorite, Tony Hawk. Nosmir's a big Tony Hawk guy.
They're AWS. PlayStation goes through Amazon.
Okay, they switched over to AWS.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Tony Hawk, though.
Back to Tony Hawk. Nosmir, you're a big Tony Hawk fan, right? You love Tony, Big Tone, as you call him.
It's my main game. I exclusively play it. I have 14,000 hours in Tony Hawk 1. I don't know.
You must really fucking suck at the game then.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is a news story from last week. We have another news story about Tony Hawk, but I figured, you know what? We'll throw this one in because we didn't get to it. Apparently, they took over a abandoned store in the UK and just had like a skating event where they just literally were in Bristol. It was in Bristol, dude. You could go around and collect skate letters, Nos.
Whoa.
You could go around and collect it, and some like teenager has to hand it to you, and you like punch him in the head or do a kickflip in front of his face or some shit.
Hit him with the chucks on my board.
Yeah, exactly. And they had some band called the 900, another nod to Tony Hawk, that was doing covers of shit from songs from the game. So that's kind of cool, I guess. It's I like that marketing tactic. It would have been better if you had Bam Margera there. We need Bam to show up, but not Bam now where he's like happy and off drugs. I want drugged up Bam Margera showing up to the family event, bro.
Just doing wild shit.
That would have been good shit. But people have been playing the game for a while now, and they have found a little Easter egg, right? From this thing on Twitter, and there is some posts about it on Reddit from the devs here. But apparently there is a little bit of a Easter egg for Guitar Hero on this. And people were upset because it is in like a dumpy area that it's just lying on the ground. I don't see a problem with it, man. It's just kind of a little reference to another early 2000s series that Activision had. It's a fun little Easter egg. Well, I don't get why people. I guess because it's just lying on the ground in like a trash heap. But like,
well, not only that, but they condemned Neversoft to be the Guitar Hero factory. Remember?
Oh well, yeah, that's true. that did happen to Neversoft, but I think as an Easter egg, it's fine. There wasn't a problem, but we have this here on Reddit. It says, we have the utmost respect for anyone who makes games. We're investigating how that got in there in the first place. Thank you. It got in there because you fucking let it. Like it's just a fucking, yeah, you got the Neversoft logo. It's the Banjo champion, right? Like it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, is it just me or am I crazy here? Like, there's nothing wrong with
there.
that?
It's not like trashed or anything.
Well, it's kind of in trash. It's kind of in trash, but still, like, even if it is, it's like an Easter egg to something that's also a part of your company. Like, again, nobody's excited for Guitar Hero anymore. Okay, no one gives.
No, there are people that are excited for it.
I know, autistic people.
Yeah, but they, you know. They are leaving money because remember all the people that bought that fucking thing for Fortnite and they even came out with that controller for it that was selling out.
They did.
And I mean, again, I'm not going to refute that it's autistic people, and I'm also not going to refute if they came out with like Guitar Hero 1 through 4 classic like they did with, and that's going to be mark my words, that's going to be their next thing. they're gonna look at like what's going on with Tony Hawk and be like, yeah, people miss these games. And anecdotally, my manager at work made mention around like my wife's birthday because my wife wanted to go to Dave and Buster's, and she's like, "Oh, I love Dave and Buster's. That's the only place that has Guitar Hero." And I go there with my son, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So normies do like Guitar Hero as well.
It might come back, yeah. Nos, I know you're gonna have to leave us here in a minute. Before you do, what are your thoughts on Banjo Champion?
Bring back Banjo Kazooie. I don't know.
Banjo Kazooie, he can be in Guitar Hero now.
Yeah.
Before he goes, I also breaking. I have Nosmir's custom character from when he plays Tony Hawk.
What's my character?
Let's see what his character. Oh
yeah,
Muhammad Ali.
Inshallah.
That is fucking wild. That is fucking. What's your go-to skateboard song? I feel like yours would be Nas. It would be like the Carpenter's Superstar. I feel like that's the song you would want to skateboard to the most.
No. It's the one that goes down.
Jimmy was a race car driver.
CKY.
Yeah, CKY.
No, I feel like it's the Carpenter's Superstar.
Everyone knows CKY. What a classic.
Yeah.
All
that
right.
is true. That is true. Now, Nasmir, thank you for joining. I know you joined on like last minute notice, so thank you. Chat, say hello to Nasmir, say goodbye to Nasmir at the exact time. Last Toxic Mail has something for you to read, and I feel like this is your great going away quote here, Nas.
If you don't piss in Extra's pool, you'll still sink in his pool with piss. All right. Thank you and goodbye.
Did y'all know I have a pool?
Yeah, you won't shut the fuck up about it. Jesus Christ, old
I
man.
feel like you guys talk about it more than I do at this point.
How many times do we have to tell you this, old man? Oh, man. Yes, thank you again to Nas for joining on, very, very, very late notice, like 5 minutes notice. Speaking of 5, we got a last Toxic Mail super chat for $5. You want to read this one for us? Take extra.
Guys, Lethal has kept me edging for the whole week. What a week. It's been a long week. If he doesn't come back soon, I'm a super fuck the backside of Muzz's mom. Like Kleenex tissue. Simply the best. Simply the best Kleenex tissue.
Here's the thing, okay? Blabbering Collector, Harry Potter he's dead.
Super gay.
Harry Potter, it's not even real. It's a little book.
It's a trans allegory.
It's basically Lord of the Rings for little twink boys, and little twinks are not who I like at all. Voldemort, he's a bit fugly. He looks a bit like Cher with more Botox than she already has. Anyway,
it's a trans allegory about a little boy who goes to a wizard school and he has a botched vaginoplasty, and it gives a whole new meaning to wizard sleeve.
Oh, guys, did you know Extra has a pool? And it's bigger than his in-laws?
Point proven.
Literally, this man's bragging about how fucking big and girthy his pool is. My pool's so fucking big.
I'm just saying, we should have had the 4th of July party at my house. That's all.
Yeah. Is that just so you could get drunk and pass out?
I don't drink anymore. I haven't drank in 2 years.
Yeah, you should start. Last Toxic
Probably at this point.
Last Toxic Mail with the $2 super chat. If she's not grinding on you, dick, she's not trying. That's right. Grinding and trying, ladies and gentlemen. That is the key to life.
Yeah.
That and breathing. But besides that, we have a little bit of other news. We got some crazy news coming up about the FBI versus gamers. Yeah. You thought I was lying. No, that's real. FBI gamer war is going to be coming up. But first, we have to talk about Stalker 2, ladies and gentlemen. Stalker 2 is coming to PS5 later this year with the PS5 Pro enhancements. This is something that came out late last week. We weren't able to cover it because there was a lot to cover. So I figured we would kind of go through and cover this a little bit. Apparently it's going to have what do you call it? The fucking extra features with the controllers, something like Silent Hill 2 had. that you
Yeah,
brought
it's
up
probably
before?
just the speaker and the haptic triggers is all.
Yeah.
And maybe some touchpad support for menus.
Yeah, I mean, like that's basically about it with this one. This is a very, very short story. But yeah, if you're on PS5 and you wanted to play Stalker 2, well, you'll get your chance in a little bit with a couple enhancements on the PS5. Will it actually run properly?
Well,
See.
Microsoft's games actually, funny enough, tend to run well on PlayStation 5 for the most part.
Well, Stalker's not Microsoft. It was on Game Pass, but it wasn't. They didn't publish it.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Yeah.
I thought that they acquired the company, but I stand corrected.
Not that I remember. I don't think they did. I know the company's had problems because for anyone who doesn't know, the company's based in Ukraine.
Yeah.
I believe they were based in the eastern part of Ukraine, which meant when the Boogaloo started happening over there, they had to fucking book it. So some people were still working on the game in Ukraine. So yeah, the game was made in an active fucking war zone, which is why I was a little bit more lenient on the glitches and problems than like, I don't know, Cyberpunk, which was made in Poland. So yeah.
You know what's great is Mazza put all that time and effort into those putt games. Like, and I'm gonna pull this up real time right now. Let's see how much
breaking news right now.
I wouldn't say it's breaking news, but I just
Mazza news.
I want to see like how much time that Maz has on Stalker 2, because he was like so hyped and he
very
wouldn't shut up
excited
about it, and then he got the
game.
Jono
played a lot of that game. I know that.
Well, Jono, the thing is, like, Jono really, like, when he has a game he's hyped about, he has
like, autism. We know.
Yeah, I mean, he's literally like one of those people that like I envy because he can focus on a single game until he completes it. Yeah,
it's like a robot or a sex offender, maybe a sex offending robot.
Yeah, I'm trying to see like if it'll show me like how much time he has on Stalker 2.
Should just be on.
I'm going.
Profile,
right? I'm going through his games profile now. Let's see.
Well, we'll bring while you're looking for that. We'll do this next story, and then we'll bring up the results of Extra Zero's findings, his breaking news. After we go through this is a more serious story, and it's from again the end of last week that we weren't able to cover. There's a lot of stories about layoffs last week, and one of them that kind of went under our radar. We had it in the doc, we just weren't able to get to it. Was Gunzilla Games has a second round of layoffs in 3 months. So we're going to read through this here. Employees at Gunzilla Games have announced that the studio is facing another round of layoffs as part of its restructuring. News comes from at least half a dozen employees on LinkedIn who are reporting that they are now seeking employment after being laid off from Gunzilla Games. Those who were laid off said that their positions were lost as a part of company restructuring. This is the second round of layoffs from Gunzilla in the past 3 months. Gunzilla Games is known for its early access game Off the Grid, which is a free-to-play battle royale supported by an NFT marketplace. Shout out to the doc. Dr. Disrespect would have loved them. Off the Grid saw some initial success thanks to a paid streamer advertisement with creators like Ninja, Tim the Tatman, Scump. But it's currently unclear how the project is going. Over $100 million has been invested in Gunzilla Games since its inception. So there's a lot of money coming into this.
Yeah. We see that a lot too with like these investments coming in, but there's nothing like, where's the proof of concept? Like, what drove that? It has more questions than answers.
Yeah, and again, like there's no information on when the game's fully going to launch.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a Epic Game Store exclusive on PC. That's what I'm seeing here. So that's not
outside of Fortnite. Has anything that's been in that position actually found any success? Because it certainly didn't for Borderlands. And
Maybe Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, but that did more on console. That was more oriented towards consoles, but it did do well on Epic, and that was early out the gate in one of those Epic.
And it also wasn't a full price title either. Is this
true?
Yeah,
and the budget for it, I remember being pretty low. Like it had a lot going for it for that game. Hence why we got another one, a sequel to that remaster remake. It's sad news. It really does suck to see that, again, a company like this it's not doing well. And the more it's going to end up becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? The more financial troubles they don't have a great track record at the moment. And it's just going to feed like Ouroboros just fucking eating its own tail. And if I'm an investors may not be willing to put money into this company because they're like, well, shit, you're laying off everyone. You don't have any timeline publicly about what the fuck's going on. Why would I put money into it? But they need the money. They need the money to actually get the timeline
I need that
done.
Money. I really, really do. I need that money.
They actually do need the money. That's the sad thing. Like they need that money in order to probably execute on their timeline. Mm-hmm. But until they get that money, they can't give a definitive timeline. And without a definitive timeline, they can't get money. It's right. That's what it looks like from the outside to me. This is not good. And I do feel bad for everyone who was laid off because it sucks, especially because you survived one round of layoffs and you're like, whew, right? That's stressful. And then to all of a sudden be like, yeah, we're doing more layoffs. Mm-hmm. That sucks. Either way, I mean, it's just, it's a tough situation. But this is what happens when you're, again, don't make a game that's NFT type of shit. Don't do that stuff, right? Can we just say NFTs shouldn't be involved in gaming?
Oh, 100%.
Right? Yeah, I feel like that's kind of got to be done. Okay, what do we got here? Extra Zero. Is this?
So this is the going back to Stalker 2. This is all the time he played putt-putt. Now he did
that's a lot of hours.
He's got 4.6 hours in Balloonarama, and he beat that game. If you add it all up, it's about a little over 10 hours. He got 1 minute, 36 minutes, 41.
Whoa, he didn't play all of them, bro.
He didn't play all of them, but in fairness, some of them wouldn't work because they're old DOS games. And I got him Putt-Putt Saves the Zoo.
What about GOG?
Yeah, that's a good question. I could get him. Then I wouldn't know that he was actually playing them. Like when Steam.
But we do Putt-Putt Marathon round 2.
Yeah, because he should play Putt-Putt Saves the Zoo. And
that's
also
integral. That's that's what the series is built upon, right? You know?
Yeah. Dog on a Stick, he never played. So these two, he never tried. And these three, because he never played Fatty Bear's Activity. He did show me he couldn't get Pep's birthday surprise launch, but he's got about 10 hours. So let's go. Let's see what he's got for Stalker. He's played more putt-putt. He's played 10 hours plus of putt-putt and only 2.5 of Stalker 2. And he worked so fucking hard.
He did all that effort for Stalker 2, and then he went to go play it, and it was fucking broken. So he ended up only playing 2.5 fucking hours.
Yeah, listen, it's not life's not about the destination; it's about the journey, right?
Oh my god, poor Moz, dude. Can we get big prayers up for my boy Moz right now? That's literally his face when he was playing Stalker 2, and it just was not going, dude. Big prayers up for both P. Diddy and P. Mazza.
P. Mazza.
Alrighty, we got a last toxic mail here with a $2 super chat. He says, if Daniel Radcliffe can say
Knicker
bottoms like New York
bottom,
why can't Maz? I don't know why he can't say that word.
I chalk it up to racial insensitivity. Like he is, he's got an inherent bias.
He hates black people.
Yeah, and he's afraid that he's just going to turn into what was the name of the character? Yeah,
Adam Driver and Black Klansman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or Topher Grace in Black
He's
Klansman.
fighting racist demons every day. He's like Steven Crowder. How Steven Crowder fights his bisexual demons. Maz has to fight his racist demons. Yeah. Hey, we got you know what? I was gonna do this as horror news. It is just a funny clip. That's resurfaced, and with context now, it doesn't look too good. Do we want to shit on pirate software for a couple minutes before we go into the FBI versus gamers?
I think everybody wants to see it. Everybody wants to hear it. You know, especially, are we going to do the thing with his dad? Because that's just...
We are, ladies and gentlemen. Here is pirate software. Here's his father. And here's a conversation that they've had.
But since you did, last month was my birthday and you missed it. You didn't call me. Neither did your brother. You guys both ignored me for my birthday.
That isn't true. I sent you a text.
True. No, you did not.
Bullshit.
That was last year.
Can I pause this, by the way?
You know what the best part about his dad is? You know who he looks like? He looks just like Stephen Root.
Oh my god, he kind of does.
Like,
he
it's
looks
the
like
glasses.
He looks like hobo Stephen Root, dude. He looks fucking a lot. Here's my thing. Why the fuck wouldn't you just call your dad?
Yeah, exactly. It's that hard.
Sorry. I know it's your birthday. Let me just send you a text. Holy shit, you can't take like 5 fucking minutes?
Yeah.
5 minutes. You're a piece of shit.
Yep.
Like, legit, there's no fucking excuse. You're a piece of shit. And we've known he's a piece of shit for a long time. And it's like, this is just kind of more proof. Or you're playing it up. Other case will be, his cope will be, no, we were just like joking around. It's like, so what'd you want? People to think you were a piece of shit?
Or know you were a piece of shit.
Yeah, or now we know you're a piece of shit. Let's keep going because it gets better.
Bullshit.
I got nothing. You sent me one last year.
Did I send you one last year? Am I a shitty son? Oh man. Yeah. It was last year. Wow.
I want everybody to know that Thor did not say anything to his father for his birthday a month ago.
If it makes you feel any better, I didn't text you anything after that last happy birthday, so it's still the same one.
Oh, that's not a good cope, buddy. That's not good.
No.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I just didn't talk to you for like a year, basically, over the phone. Which I get. Yeah. Like, if you're in person or something, then like...
And what makes it even sadder is how much he like flexed about his dad.
Yeah. If this is okay, because there's gonna be something of like, we're just playing shit up for stream. Okay, let's assume in this case that he isn't. If he is, okay, but you're making yourself look like a retard, and everyone thinks you're an asshole now. So
yeah,
that worked out well for you. But let's assume it's real. You're just a piece of shit. Like, you couldn't contact your dad at all. Like, if you didn't send your dad a text or call your dad on his birthday, I would hope you were at least hanging out with him, or that he's like,
right.
You gotta be doing something. Like, that's just fucking scummy. Like, I get it if you don't have a good relationship, but you obviously have somewhat of a relationship with him because he's on fucking stream with you. And also the fact that you used his name to get positions. Like, and look, here's the thing with Nepo babies, right? Okay. You get the job because of who you know, not what you know. Now, does that determine whether you're going to do a good job or not? Either way, I don't think so, because sometimes certain jobs are pretty easy to pick up upon, or you have some knowledge and you got ahead and then you're able to do your job well. Cool. You do your job and you earn your place. Yeah, cool. But from what we've been seeing about all the stuff leaking about how he's a terrible fucking coder and all the fucking backlash he's been getting, it doesn't look like you earned your job.
Yeah.
It does not look like it.
Like I mentioned too, I know people were laughing because they didn't know what a penetration test was, but it's a real thing. And this whole thing about, I hacked into nuclear power plants. It's like, you probably weren't even doing that. You probably were just doing it by nature of, phishing emails. You're trying to make yourself sound a lot more sophisticated than you actually are, and I think that's probably the bulk of it. And the excuse too, it's like I just checked to make sure I confirmed it. Like his streaming schedule isn't even that packed, right? He streams 3 to 4 times a week, and then he does one video every week or two. So, and that's his full-time job. So, and I understand too, when you're doing this, when you're running a YouTube channel and it's your livelihood, there's a lot of stuff that goes behind the scenes, but it's just like his content, isn't that sophisticated. It's literally just webcam commentary content. Like he does like what we do, but he gets paid to do it. To not even be able to take 1 minute and wish your dad a happy birthday is, it's fucked, especially since your dad is the reason you, aside from the fact that the reason you're alive, the other, you partially your claim to fame. So the fact
it seems like they have a somewhat good relationship if he's going to be fucking bringing them out on stream. Like, I get it. If there was like some fucking major beef there, okay, whatever. But that's publicly not what we're fucking seeing. And publicly, we're just seeing that you're like, I don't know. He just kind of seems like a bit of a fucking, like a kid who is not, I don't know, someone who didn't grow out of being a child. And that's what it seems like every single time, because he's putting on this facade, and then as soon as it starts flipping, he starts spurging out like you just like a little kid who just got punched.
Yeah. And I mean, how embarrassed would you be if your dad had to call you out like that on stream?
Oh my God, I wouldn't be laughing.
Yeah.
I would have, you know what? If it wouldn't happen. But 2, like if it was a situation like that, man, I would feel terrible before it even got to that. Because this would probably be brought up behind the scenes. I don't feel like this is the only time it's being brought up.
Right.
And
especially the fact that his dad even went in to use his real name. Excuse me. Like you can tell his dad's been hurt by that. Like it's
of course he is, and I don't blame him, man. That's fucking.
Well, I don't think anybody does.
Really, it's a really shitty thing to do. Like again, like why the fuck would you not? Like it just makes you look like an asshole, and he is. We've seen it from his track record. I will say, he's a fucking asshole. Like not a bold take here either, but he is. He's a honestly a shitty person from what it seems from the offset.
Yeah.
And he's done some shitty things. Like the whole straw manning of Stop Killing Games was bullshit. You can have actual concerns, but you literally tried to railroad the entire initiative based off of nonsense. That was my big problem with that. It's because we talked to Ross. You and me were both on that stream where we had Ross on here, and we both shared concerns with it. And Ross did his best to answer those concerns as much as he could. Again, he's not the one running the initiative. He's just a very vocal supporter of it.
Yeah, he's been kind of like the face and the promoter, the core promoter of it all. And it speaks volumes when you have somebody that is just trying to protect customers and the industry, and you can't come at it civilly. You have to come at it with this I don't want to use the word authoritarian, but coming across like you're the only authority in the subject. You're a complete and total subject matter expert, and you don't want to bridge the gap, right? You don't want to create let's have a dialogue on how we can improve this. Here's my concerns. I want to see this succeed. I want to be a consumer rights advocate. No. I have to shit on this guy because he's doing something that I'm not doing. It's just kind of like the perspective I got on it, that it just stunk.
Yeah. Let's read through chat here. I'm going to read through chat, and then we're going to get to Nintendo Switch and Nintendo, the FBI, and their war upon the gamers. That's right. Gamers rise up. Gamers. We are now second-class citizens. The government is going after. Oh, shit. All right. Let's go through chat and read some of your comments here on the Pirate Software. Why not? Let's do it. dude probably has less tests than Moz. Yeah, I think Moz is injecting some like horse testosterone into him right now. Some weird shit he's got going on. Moz is a scary human being. He scares me. And I mean that sincerely. There's something wrong with him. And I feel like he's 5 minutes away from being James McAvoy in Split. But the person, not the like weird gay one or the Twinkie one. I mean the one that's like leaping through the park biting women type of shit. He's 5 minutes away from that. It scares me. So he's Matthew Broderick from War Games. Pirate Software is not really Matthew Broderick from War Games, because Matthew Broderick in War Games was actually like good at what he did. Pirate Software is just doing basically Indian scammer techniques for the federal government to test. Like that's what effectively Extra was saying that he was doing, was like, you know, the Indian guy who sends you an email from the Windows Corporation to your grandma to get access to their PC. It's like that type of stuff where it's like, okay, that's not really sophisticated shit. People will fall for it, but it's not like you're some super duper hacker boy. You're like, I don't know, you just figured out that like some people are, you know, technologically illiterate. Like, I don't know. Nepo douche, yeah, he is a Nepo douche. Yeesh, this makes me want to tell my dad happy birthday. Yeah, I know. Nah, I'm gonna go punch mine in the nuts later. Cell Shade. I always thought of him calling himself Thor was so fucking cringe. That is pretty fucking cringe, yeah. Like you're giving yourself a fucking like another name. You have a name online, right? You got Pirate Software in your name. Why do you need to call yourself another fucking name? It is a bit like kind of high and mighty, fart sniffing type of shit. And then last Toxic Mail says, shout out to Gronking for being one of the first to discuss the issue with Ross. Yeah. I don't know if we were like the first, but we were pretty early. I don't want to toot our horn too much, but toot. Yeah, we did have a pretty good discussion with Ross. If you want, you can go watch it. It's on the channel. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, people are like, yeah, I don't even close. Yeah, it's just really shitty. Like he just comes off as an asshole. But
funny enough, I do have a friend who calls himself Thor. However, I think he actually looks the part. He's 6'5" with long hair and a beard. He looks like a fucking Viking.
That's different. This guy is just calling because he's like, this is my little name. I guess ferretfucker53 at hotmail.com wasn't gonna ring as close. You know,
what probably happened was when he grew his hair out, it was probably at the peak of like the MCU, and someone said, "Oh, you have hair like Thor," and he just ran with it.
He's like, "Yeah, that is me. Yeah, that is me." And they're like, "I don't think that's you. I think you just have hair like that." No, this is my personality now.
Yeah, really, in reality, what he looks like is Keffels when just starting HRT is what he looks like.
Fucking hell. Holy shit. All right, speaking of douchebags, let's talk about the FBI, baby. That's right. Everyone's been going after the FBI, and we're going to go after the FBI. Maybe.
Try.
Not the same reason why other people.
No, not the same reason, but
honestly, probably a more important issue what we're going to discuss.
But then we find out Dan Bongino stepped down just because he was like feeling bad about Nintendo.
Yes. And what we have is a tweet from @FBI. What a great I wish I had that handle. You know how much shit I would do with the @FBI handle? It would be fucking great. We have a tweet here from the FBI saying, today we're announcing the seizure and dismantlement of several illicit video game marketplaces from February to May of this year. There were approximately 3.2 million illicit downloads, and these downloads caused an estimated loss of $170 million.
Now, when they say marketplaces, was there any, on these sites, this is something I haven't looked into, any transaction, or were they simply just hosting ROMs?
Well, we will go through and look right now because we are now going to the FBI website. This looks like some fucking bull. I'm sorry if I see a head. Look at this website, dude. It just has FBI in bold. This looks sketchy as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you would think the people who are like supposed to investigate crimes online would have, I don't know, a website that's from this fucking century.
Yeah, I don't know. I would rather them keep it like straight to the point, and I don't really want my tax dollars wasted on.
I really like some banner ads for like some porn video games along the side.
Boner pills.
Boner pills. A bunch of fucking news articles about how X celebrity has died. It's type of shit, or skin teen. Yeah, I want it to look like fucking. Oh, what do you call it? BuzzFeed. All right, let's read through this here. The FBI's Atlanta field office announced today the seizure of several online criminal marketplaces providing pirated versions of popular video games. In addition to the seizure, the FBI has dismantled the infrastructure of these websites. For more than 4 years, the websites contain pirated copies of highly anticipated video games days or weeks before their official release date. Between February 28th, 2025 and May 28th, 2025, the records indicate a total of 3.2 million downloads occurred on these sites from the most used download service. These actions resulting in an estimated loss of $170 million.
Of course, they're going to put on the high end.
Well, yeah, I mean, to be fair, what it is saying is like, they're not saying like this is somebody trying to download Pokemon Blue. This is like, this is someone trying to download the brand new game that just came out. So I do think that high end of the revenue loss does make sense in this instance. When they go after like older game ROM websites, it doesn't make sense. It's like, we lost $3 billion. What, off of NES games? No, I don't think
ones
so,
that
bro.
They aren't selling anymore. Or,
that literally is almost impossible to get. Yeah, you didn't lose any money because you weren't counting on that. But with this, I do think the income makes more sense. As part of the actions announced today, the FBI has obtained authorization to seize the domain of multiple sites, including nsw2u.com, nswdl.com, game-2u.com, bignGame.com, PS4 pkg.com, PS4 pkg.net. See, those two very similar, but the .net version had a lot more gay porn on it. That's what Moz told us. And mgnetu.com. These domains hosted and facilitated access to the pirated video games. Anyone visiting these sites will now view a seizure banner that notifies them the domain has been seized by the federal authorities. The FBI would like to thank Dutch Foyd for their assistance in this investigation. You know what this makes me think? The Dutch probably just went through and took them down, and then the FBI is like,
yeah, I was gonna say, like, I've never heard of any of these sites, and I'm somebody that's big into building like Raspberry Pis, and you know, I've curated a good collection of you know, ROMs. All ROMs I own, you know, I own legally. I just don't have the tools to rip them myself, just for disclosure. Yeah, I'd be curious, like, where these actually were hosted. I mean, it says these domains hosted and facilitated access to pirated video games, but it doesn't say where they were hosted and maintained, and whether or not, it doesn't even specify whether or not the owners were of American nationality.
Yeah. It really is kind of, look, with this type of stuff, I am more like, obviously, if it's a brand new game, you can't fucking steal it. I'm sorry.
Right. You are impacting people's livelihoods.
Yeah. They're making a product, they have to sell it. Yes, totally. When it comes to older games, I think that's a different issue, because if a game is not being sold anymore, you're not expecting payment for said game. Is it truly, I think it's morally fine to then download a ROM of a game that's not available for sale. I mean, obviously, if it's available for sale, I would love to. And again, the laws on ROMs are very iffy And again, I think they vary from jurisdiction to jurisdiction.
Well,
that's why if you're going to emulate, you
Mhm.
kind of do need to do a bit of research, find out what's
Right.
illegal in your area and what's not. This goes to even like backing stuff up, like videos.
Well,
Some places you're not
Mhm.
allowed to back up your copies of DVDs or something. Other places like the US, I believe you can.
You can, yeah. And that was something I said that, you know, if you go back to like when we met with Ross, I said that one of the things that I'd like to see is a change in how public domain works are categorized when it comes to games. I think that if a game can no longer be sold or is no longer supported, again, definition of no longer can be sold, say a license expires or enough time has passed. Like I'd really like to play, let's say Wave Race 64 legitimately, but Nintendo doesn't want to sell me a copy. You know, that game is now over 25 years old. Maybe we should change the way public domain works, you know, those sort of things. And we do see it on archive.org. You can find a lot of those old Activision games where they've just lost the licenses, and you can download legitimate copies of, say, X-Men Origins Wolverine, for example. Great
Tony
God of
Hawk's
War
Underground.
Yeah. There's so many of those games that they just they don't have the licenses for because of music or whatever. I think that there should be. I think we should redefine what piracy is when it comes to works that can no longer be sold or distributed.
Yeah, it's definitely an iffy gray area on preservation and piracy.
Right,
Ooh,
especially
look at
with
that's a
digital
catchy.
goods.
That's a catchy little thing. I should
Yeah.
start writing a shitty article about it. Shout out
Right.
to Smash JT. They've stopped selling Marvel's Ultimate Alliance. Yeah, that's a game I would love to pick up.
And remember last year that weird thing happened where on Amazon new copies showed up, and like War for Cybertron, Fall for Cybertron, or Fall of Cybertron, Transformers Devastation, all showed up at normal MSRP. And we thought that was going to be like, oh, okay, they did it. They got those copyrights back. But no, it just, that kind of
somebody must have had a stock of them and was selling them secondhand.
Well, they were sold through Amazon, unless somebody within Amazon found like a cache of codes and just let them up. But the timing was suspect because like Hasbro's
there was a lot of other info around the time, and
Hasbro's been putting out merchandise for 3 games that they no longer sell, which is odd.
Again, if you are going to do emulation, do check your local jurisdiction laws. Right, we're not promoting you to fucking do anything illegal here. Of course, you have to understand what's legally allowed in your area. Don't assume that the laws in the US apply to you if you're not in the US. Don't assume that foreign laws apply to you in the US when you're you're not in those countries.
If you do, use a VPN, use a secure browser.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, you should be using a VPN, secure browser, all that stuff. But with this, I think it's pretty cut and dry when it's a website that's harboring like brand new ROMs of brand new games for people to get illegally. That's a problem.
Yep.
And people do it a lot for Nintendo, but it happens on a bunch of other stuff, a bunch of other sites. It is a problem, and like it does take money away from the devs. Like,
the publishers.
The game might be bad, but the company should still get paid. If you want to play a bad game, you should still have to pay.
Yeah, the publishers can be greedy, but at the end of the day, the people that build and create and craft the games, they have very little financial stake other than their own ability to earn an income. So I do think that's something people should take into mind.
Yeah, and I think with piracy, it's while prices are getting higher and higher, you do have stuff like Game Pass, which allows you for a lower price to go and play a plethora of games, which I think that's the one benefit of the streaming model, which is why everything has moved to that. It's because you can just get a bunch of stuff all at once and do it that way, even though you don't actually own any of the stuff that way.
I mean, I still prefer physical for the vast majority of my games, and I also find that patience saves pockets. I was in Walmart earlier doing my weekly grocery shopping. I found like they had I had no intention of buying it. Star Wars Outlaws is there for $20 physical.
And you bought 4 copies,
There's only 1 copy there, and
you're mailing 3 of them to Moz.
But like Dead Rising Remastered, which is a game that like I didn't want to pay full price for. I ended up getting that for $20 a month ago. You know, sometimes if there's a game you're curious about, you know, you just, again, patience saves pockets. We all have backlogs. It's not going to kill you if you're like, I can't see myself spending $70 on that. Just wait. It'll get down to a price point. I also recommend over Games Pass. I recommend Humble Choice. I found that that's, for me, a good value for money, especially since you can keep those games. And like I did buy Soul Reaver Remastered on PlayStation 5. Wanted it on PC, and then boom, it's part of Humble Choice for $15, and now I own it forever on PC.
So basically, the moral of today's show: don't break the law.
Yep.
Crazy shit. And Pirate Software is a piece of shit. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start to wrap up here. We do have our indie for today, and we're going to show that to you right now. It's a game called Stranded Souls. Would you like to read this for us, Big Extra Zero?
I would, but I can't even say it.
That's all right.
Step into the haunting world of Stranded Souls, a co-op horror game designed to challenge you and test your courage. This game lets you gather up to 4 players to face the unknown, unravel mysteries, and survive the horrors that lay ahead.
Yeah,
Okay.
Lie ahead. Close enough. Either way,
yeah.
Liehead. We got a trailer here, and shout out to Clappy or whatever the fuck his name
Labs
is.
Game Studios.
Labs Game Studios. Boy, that's what Moz looks like right now.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. So it's a spooky time here.
Yep. Yeah, it looks a little bit like Little Nightmares, artistically.
There's nothing about that looks scary at the end. Can I just go back to the guy running? Holy fuck.
Let's see some, like, what do you do in this? Because that's not a very good trailer.
That's a fucking terrible trailer. Can we just see this guy run again?
Yeah.
He runs like he's shit himself. All right, let's look here. We got this here. There's a spooky little room. George Floyd is there.
Oh yeah.
And the Irish. Okay. It's the 9 Inch Nails.
Hey, it's Easter
music video. It's Closer by 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah.
There's a piano. There's really no context of what you actually do. I assume it's like Repo. Honestly, a game like this, if you're an indie game, you can't be like very cryptic with it. Come on, you gotta show us the gameplay.
Explicitly say like what you're doing in this,
especially if they're asking for almost 7 Canadian.
I think, but I think like the whole concept of like a co-op Amnesia, or what was the other one they did? The one that took place in the mental hospital.
Outlast, yeah.
I think the concept of like a co-op game like that could be interesting, where you're just kind of running and you might intersect into other people, and you have like puzzles that play out like escape rooms.
Yeah,
could be interesting, but like,
you gotta show us what the game.
Yeah, you gotta explicitly say what the game is,
because you're trying at this point. You're trying to do the work for them, of being like,
right.
This could be cool if it was this, but it's like, we don't know. If you do want to find out, or if you want to wish list it, or if you want to buy it and just say fuck it, we are going to put the link here in the description. The link will be up tonight also on the Discord, ladies and gentlemen. The Gronking Discord, that's in the description of this video. You can go and join, and you can tell Extra Zero that he's gay on Discord. Not just while he's here on the show. You can send him messages that he will look at a later point in time.
I got notifications on for the server. I have not.
He's got them on. That means he's getting paged daily at work, being called gay. That's a great way to start the day, end the day, continue the day. Personally,
you know what's going to happen too? You call me gay. You know what I'm going to do?
What?
I'm going to ask. Do you know I have a pool?
Do you know I have a pool? Would a gay man own a pool?
Yeah.
And we would say, yes, a pool of men's cum. And then he really has no response.
Hey, and I'd
after
say
that.
no. I'd say you don't know what's in there.
And then you keep trying to get us to have a drink and get in your pool like fucking Cosby. Well, why don't you just sit on down here and get yourself
Come
some
on
little
down
drink?
Okay,
Come
pool,
on down.
please.
Come on down to my pool, and you're gonna get in the pool, and you're gonna get all wet.
It's
I'm gonna
vanilla
come dry
pudding. Just go ahead and taste it. You tell me if it's salty or not. Sleep.
Get in the pool and get all wet, and then I'll come dry you off. Yeah, my Cosby's not very good. Yours is better.
If it's too salty, blame it on Lisa Bonet. She went for a swim.
Oh Lord, good Lord, please help me. All right, that's the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Extra Zero, do you have anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
Yeah, I got my regular stream coming up on Tuesday, youtube.com/extra0. And I do 0 Hour where I talk about Transformers and all the fun stuff going on in that world of collecting. And it's going to be a pretty fun show because we just had TFCon Toronto and they did their whole third-party panel. So we'll be going over all of the stuff.
Oh, I could have went there and
you could have
and been like, I could have went there and been like, I have no idea what this place is, and you all smell like shit.
You know what's funny is like I was doing my stream a couple weeks ago, and Drunk 3PO came into my stream, and I was like, "What?" And apparently, that was where I found out that he's shifted his content over to Transformers collecting, and I did see he was at TFCon Toronto.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I could have met up with him, and you've been like, "Who?" I'd be like, "I'm that guy who's on things that you don't see." Alrighty.
Well, we got one more from Mazda Salamanca.
We do. What I have to promote, I'll say this first. Gronk Squad. Go check out Gronk Squad. There is a video for Gronk Squad. I don't know when that's coming out. It is prepared. It is Minecraft Season 2, Episode 1. It's uploaded. It's on the back end. So I don't control the release of that. It should be out soon, though. So get hyped. Stay the fuck hyped. If you're not hyped right now, I'll hurt you. In a non-violent way. Emotional hurt. Mazda Salamanca with the $5 reduced super chat. He says, we know extra you want us to go into the pool to pee in it. We see how it is pee. Yeah.
If the water was green, then maybe.
You want to drink piss?
No. No, there was nothing in his super chat about drinking it.
Everyone, boo this nigga!
Alrighty, with that, we're gonna get the fuck out of here. Thank you everybody for watching, and until next time, Extra Zero has herpes. Extra Zero, do the Moz.
All right, you pieces of shit. Go on, get out of here. Your show's over. Maz is gay. He's in bed. He's dying of herpes. You know?